Hey folks, it's Jim. It's a little windy, but I just wanted to go over. I got a couple of questions as to how much power it took to recharge the batteries. Unfortunately, the answer to that is subjective in that it depends on your riding ability. Okay, for me, I'm going to give you for instance, I just did 15 miles on the bike, fully charged battery, and I still have 4 bars out of 5 left on the battery, which means I only used 1 bar. Now, the reason why it is subjective is because it depends on how much pedaling you do. On that 15 miles, I get a workout. I want to exercise. I never go above pedal assist level 3, and I don't recommend that for anyone anyway. It just puts too much stress on the bike. If you're climbing a hill and you're above pedal assist level 3, I think you're trying to kick too many amps out to that motor at too low of a speed. If you're climbing a long, steep hill. So for me, I never go above pedal assist level 3 no matter what. And so that's how I do it. And I don't sweat. I may get lightly sweaty, but that's because I want the workout. If I don't want to sweat, I just pedal slower. But I make really good time too. I did that 15 miles in less than an hour. So that tells me that I'm averaging about 15 miles an hour, and we're talking some major hills that I have to climb out here. And I got to go by the lake. It was absolutely beautiful and so serene to do that in the morning, to wake up and start my day that way. I just love it. But the long-term health benefits of the bikes, the e-bikes, as we age anyway, for me, I'm speaking from a person who's aging, and I'm surrounded by people who are aging and they're down in a pool, trapped in a cage doing water aerobics and things like that, which is great. I'm not knocking it. It's just a friend of mine keeps trying to get me to go, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to be in a cage with a bunch of sheep, man. I just want to be free, and I enjoy it. I've been riding Harleys, my whole life, and dirt biking and stuff like that, and I enjoy being out in the wind. I just love it. To me, that's serenity. So for me, it's a way of life. I don't know, how other people's lives are, but I try and get people into biking. It is a wonderful way of exercise, and the e-bikes allow us, as we age, to prevent injury to our knees. And for people who are overweight, I believe that's the same thing. If you're trying to get in shape and get your blood values back to normal limits and things of that nature, this is a wonderful way to do it without subjecting your knees to a lot of stress, because you got that electric motor to make up for it, And that's why I love the e-bikes. And some people say, wow, you spend that much on a bike? Yes. This is for quality of life. This isn't about money. How much do you spend to go to the doctor to fix a knee? How much do you spend to go to the doctor to get your cholesterol down? How much do you spend to go to the doctor to get your blood sugar down, your A1C? Right? Well, right there is my solution to those problems, right? So e-biking, to me, it seems to be a younger generation fad, but I think as this continues to take off, this is going to be an older generation fad, a boomer fad, because of the health benefits that these provide without the health risks of climbing that hill, overstressing your knees and your joints or your heart. This helps me to keep all of my body systems within normal limits and not overstress anything as I age. And as I get into my 70s and 80s, I presume that I will still be riding these bikes. Maybe not these bikes, but as technology changes, we may improve. But I don't see a need to improve on this. And like I said, I just did 15 miles and only used 20% of the battery. And it will, if I were to recharge it right now, it would be about 100 watts to recharge the battery after 15 miles. If I do 30 miles, 25 miles, let's say, it's 200 to 240 watts. Okay, and that's a lot of hill climbing. I absolutely love it. And the reason why I love it, I've shared with you. This isn't about just being prepared in case the world should fall apart. I have an alternative means of transportation right here that I can maintain myself. it's not just about that. It's about a lifestyle of living healthier, longer. They say the most important thing to people as they age is their health. Without it, life is miserable. So, how much money is worth it to maintain health? And that's how I think about it. There isn't enough money to stay healthy, right? There's no amount of money that somebody wouldn't spend to maintain their health, is there? And think of the costs, the long-term health costs that this kind of helps stave off. You know, the diabetes, the high cholesterol, the other things that go with a sediment lifestyle, you know, sedentary, I should say, lifestyle. You know, we as people in modern society have to stay active. You know, science is more and more proving that people that are not active are just unhealthy. We are designed as human beings to remain active, and the e-bikes allow me that. You know, and I have 2 of them, and I really love the RadWagon. It's like a Cadillac, you know, especially with the Suntour NCX seat post. You know, it's just you're floating on air. You're not getting any kicks up your back, and takes the vibration out of the road and all of that, you know. So I'm very serene out there on the road. The other one I have has front shocks and all that. That's the Rad City, and it's faster because it's a little lighter, and I'm more in a speed riding position when I'm on that. But yeah, so for me, that's why I do it, you know. And somebody writes in, and I don't know why some people like to argue on the internet. It's hilarious to me, man. If you don't like what I'm doing, man, go watch another channel. You know what I mean? I got no bones with what you're doing. Do whatever you want, man. I just know what I'm doing, you know? I really don't have a dog in the fight, if you will, man. I'm just enjoying life and sharing my experience, strength, and hope with the world as I see it. And so if you're out of shape, if your fitness levels are low, you know, I would highly recommend these bikes as well. I've turned a few of my friends onto it, and they're really grateful that I was able to share the e-bike experience to show people who aren't in great shape how they can slowly begin to get back in great shape. And let me tell you something, when you can help change someone's life like that, oh, that is so, so nice when we can do that for one another as people, right? So, yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I hope life's treating you well. 15 miles, 1 bar off the battery, only 20% of my battery capacity. So that's how I do it, and that's how it's easy for me to recharge via solar and use my portable power stations. I can run indefinitely on this thing. Of course I won't. The most I'll do is maybe 50 miles ever. On my long trip, I'm going from Maine to Florida, and I'm only planning 50 miles a day. Of course, some days it may be 40, some days it may be 70, you know. But my average mileage per day is only going to be planned at 50. I'm carrying around 20 pounds of power stations and batteries. And so then I've got another 80 pounds of gear space that I can throw on the bike. And I plan on camping most of the way. So anyway, just a Rad Power Bikes update. How do I get that mileage? That's how. You know, and mileage is subjective on an e-bike, folks. 1 is your batteries. 2 is how much do you pedal. And all of it combined has to do with the road, the terrain, and everything, right? So battery distance is subjective. What you get may not be what I get, you know. So keep that in mind. And, you know, please, you know, I'm not into arguing with people. I'm just not. So let's not do that, okay? Let's all be cool and be nice and just share experience, man. And if you've got a better idea, please share it with us. But I'm really enjoying what I've got here. And I hope you're all blessed, and I hope you're all being well. And haven't been around of late. I've just been so busy. You know, once the snow melts here, I get busy and I get things done, and that's the way Maine is. So we got a short time to get stuff done. So hope you're all doing well, and Jim out.